The following is a special presentation of MRE UNO Division 1 Super League 2025. The quarterfinals. The 4 best games of the year of the 8 best players with well-rounded accolades. And 2 state quarters make up the history of this league in the quarterfinals. We started off with G. Gerard has had an interesting path to get here. A T2 win where he put it in fast lane and in a high gear. An Automotive April conquistador. But now, something different is lurking from the Jersey native, and his Garden State coin needs to be wary of tall buildings as the Empire State of Mind knocks on the door. Enter Haseem the Dream, Mr. Krabs Acosta. No matter the nicknames, he's not closing up shop. Boasting a 4-1-0 record, he's doing what his fellow New Yorker did last year in JT. But now, Acosta faces his biggest challenge. He's never won a best of 11. He's only played 1 best of 11 in his career. And now he enters the toughest challenge of his career against G, who's been here, done that. New York versus New Jersey. It's the ever-rushing flow that started this league. Both guys on the limit. One coming off an extreme by the other, extremely red hot, like a fireball. For the action is classic, and classic vibes and intros only mean one thing. Explosions, fireworks, in the garden, through the Empire. It's New York, it's New Jersey, it's the quarterfinals, and it starts now on MRE UNO.
This afternoon, we take our first step towards setting the Final Four of 2025 Super League as we kick off a doubleheader of quarterfinal action. It's the best 8 players in Division 1 to this point, and we are ready to go. It is the 2 seed Gman taking on the 7 seed 9th ranked in Super League, Haseem Acosta, the Group B winner and the top points getter in group stage. We take a look at the bracket right away, and here's your setup right now. Only 1 upset special came from the round of 12. That was Monkey over Myth. So Monkey will take on KT. It's a 3v11 seeded matchup. And then we have, of course, G and Acosta. We'll play the winner between those 2. And then up top, coming up tonight after dark, 10:30, the 4-5 game, as Pac Johnson will come off the bye to take on the 5 seed Andy, who dispatched Nick, who just nearly made it in by a tiebreaker into this elimination stage. Andy sent Nick home in 9. And then up top, of course, you have Vapor, the undisputed number 1 seed, taking on Gone, who sent Background home in an Ireland versus Wales matchup in the round of 12. That also going to 9 games. That'll be Friday afternoon, 2 o'clock. And of course, we hope to find time for KTV Monkey here the next few days. Stay tuned for updates on that. But real quickly, before we jump into everything here, this G has finally landed from a bye of 2 months, more than 2 months. You take a look at what he's done this year. Of course, started the season with a round 1 loss to Yoshi, then went and won Automotive April. Really, that was the true renaissance point of his career after a down season last year, and then had another regional final run in June, a couple round 2 exits, most recently to Tago back on August the 8th. So that is the last time he has played an official sanctioned match. And now he looks to try and knock the rust off, and he'll be jumping into a best of 11 series, so he will definitely have some chances, and he'll have the first 4 games to make his call to try and get back in the swing and contend for a world championship. We welcome you to the table. Unfortunately, the booth is quite empty this afternoon, so it'll just be yours truly, not short, joining you. Glad to be back with you. And, we're all looking forward to this one. White hot Acosta down there, coming off the win over Lara, has had a great group stage, had a great season. These are both players. Acosta's had more of the Renaissance season. He hasn't really been anywhere near this successful in his career up until these last few months. Of course, G has had success, made Super League 2 years ago, didn't make Super League last year, and went and won T2 to secure his spot here, and has been a steady presence ever since. Got himself the number 2 slot and got himself the double by island, and now he's looking to try and get 2 series wins, because that's all it takes. But it's a lot of games between here and now, and it all starts with a best of 11 this afternoon. Acosta's watching the stream. He'll be answering questions as we go along. Oh, thank you. Shout out Seanard. Thank you for that. And all right, so I'm going to start with Acosta here, because he's going to be typing out his answers. Acosta, I think it's kind of been a similar line of questioning, I would assume, for the most of it, is the fact that, this just keeps showing what kind of player you can be, what kind of resurgence you've had, and I think it maybe feel a little bit of house money, coming in here against G. It's gonna be a difficult one, no doubt about it. He's had a great season. Your thoughts on taking on G, and maybe trying to use a little bit of that momentum to your advantage early. Obviously, you've been playing ever since the start of the Super League. He's been off for 2 months. How do you take that momentum and use it to your advantage this afternoon? Let me know in the chat. G, simple question. You've had a great season, there's no doubt about it. Your thoughts on what you got to do to shake off that rust, to get back in the swing? Obviously, I said it already. August 8th, the last time you played, you lost to Tago in 6 in the round 2 of Apocalyptic August. What do you got to do to shake off that rust and make sure and try and stop Acosta in his tracks here in this one? Obviously, I would assume that, getting the first 4 games, as we'll get into a little bit later, getting the first 4 games of the series at home will definitely help you get it going.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is to just kind of have a clear mind. That's really the best way to get off the rust. I don't personally feel like I'm going to be rusty in the sense of just playing Uno, because, I've done Uno in time between there was, the Myths tournament and whatnot, so it's not like I've just kind of been not doing anything in those 2 months, but of course, definitely with MRE, it can be a bit of a different playing field, so yeah, I'm just going to try to keep a clear mind, and also just try to get the wins on the board when I can. So we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping for a good match.
Sounds good. While Acosta continues to type here, of course, it is a best of 11 one power play matchup. The TI, the turn indicator, a little differently. The turn order. G is going to get the first 4 games, then Acosta will get the next 4, and then we'll alternate. G getting game 9 and 11, and Acosta getting game 10 in this turn order. So that's a little bit of a different beast here. We haven't seen that all season. That, of course, Super League making it a little different. Normally, we would have I think it would just be a 3-3-2-2-1. It was the Final Four format, Final Four finale format. Acosta saying, my momentum is sky high, crazy. Never thought I'd be here, so toss money the rest of the tournament. I expect Gman to be up to par since he is the number 2 seed, so it should be a great series. Well said from Haseem Acosta. Well said from both. We're looking forward to a terrific series and a terrific round of Uno. As of course we will have Mac and Andy coming up tonight, Vapor and Gone Friday afternoon, and then KT and Monkey to be determined. Looking forward to all of those players hitting the table, and best wishes to the boss. Yeah, best wishes to him as the Nor'easter is bearing down on him. I'm sure he would love to be here today to see these two go at it if it weren't for that storm. So we wish him all the best in the recovery from that. And Acosta dedicating this game, at least on his end, dedicating the game to him today, and we all are thinking of him. He will be coming back here, hopefully for the Final Four. We're looking for him to we're looking for him to come back to the Final Four, and we look forward to that. So anyway, we are just about ready to rock and roll here. It is going to be game 1 of this best of 11 series. Games 1 through 4, of course, I just mentioned, will go to Gman and G. We first call to you, sir. How many cards we feeling? His state was Florida because he went to Miami. He's from Jersey. Kind of, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's some great Hey, no, you should pick the Rays because they play at the Yankee Spring Training Stadium. Anyway, start with a Steven 6 and then followed up with a Brock 1, and we are running on yellow. Going to start with 7. Obviously, we all know, we've seen it plenty. Acosta, he likes to play the long game, likes to play the slow and meticulous type. So that's another thing we'll think to see what G can do to counteract that strategy. And of course, may have gotten a little bit of a scouting report on him. He's had he's been on hand for Acosta's last 2 games in the week 5 finale against Gold, and then against Lara last round. We'll see how that works out. Triple play from G, going yellow to green. He's playing it quick, as we would expect. Yellow wild from Acosta, forcing G to draw. So a great read there from Acosta. He's going to continue to roll on yellow. Now he's down to 3. Just 90 seconds in. And now Acosta runs out after that 4. So this is what he's wanting to do. It's an exactly an Acosta kind of game. Slow the heart rate down. Level the playing field a little bit, and then pick the exact right moment to strike, and that's what he will do, as he will hold everyone up and draw city on yellow. Drawing back and forth here. Again, in this draw city, it's all about who wants to make that break first, and there's Acosta with a double. Keeps it yellow. Brings himself down to 6. He's just going to draw here. Back and forth they go. Who is going to make that big move here? Because it's quite a reset. We're past the starting line by quite a bit. G sent back to 13. Acosta back at 9. That double play giving him quite a bit of an advantage if he can find a way through. Also with a skip draw. Interesting. And G going for the Geostrats now. Indicating he wants some green. He did go for that earlier. He used one of the green skips earlier to get there, which was quickly counteracted by this yellow draw city, which continues now as we cross to about 4.5 minutes. And here's a triple play from G, building some ammo there. Not much more than just keeping it yellow and maybe making that deficit a little smaller. In fact, it puts him ahead by the possession arrow. Possibly more depending on the next move, although Acosta could be waiting to make a counterattack here. And he won't do anything. And on a 0 as well, it's a good move from G. So again, we're stuck in the yellow. There's a lot to be had about this one. There's going to be several layers once we move forward from the ice on yellow. Here is G, found the green 0, and we're off and running. Cross to red by Acosta. You'd have to imagine with this many cards, they should have every color but yellow. But you never know what could happen as G's going to have it for the moment with the Zac 2. Here's a triple. He's sprinting towards it now that he has it. I'm sure he's been sitting on that ammo for a while. Costa taking a moment to type, might have something cooking here. And he's gonna have basically the exact same thing except swap the skip for a +2. So now it evens it at 10. G still with the possession arrow. Ditto tip here for. I'll talk to him tonight. He'll be on hand with me for tonight's showdown between Mac and Andy. 10:30. Looking forward to that. Winner will get either Vapor or Gone, who plays Friday afternoon. Back and forth we go, but G runs out on the red. Acosta with possession arrow. Can he do something with it? He goes blue. Swaps it to the Nick Blue 9. and followed up by the Brad Deuce. Tie between those two decided. Nick advanced on that. Double play from Acosta. With Andy combo, and now G is going to go back to that yellow that they were stuck on for so long. Might be looking for a second trip to Draw City. Might not be uber confident in what's going down here. We will see, though. There is a +4 from Haseem Acosta. Big check here as we go back to blue. So now he's not wanting to wait. So now G's going to have to reverse course and go for red. He was stuck on earlier. Hoping that Acosta has a similar situation, which he does. It is a +4, so G might have a little bit more in reserve here, but question is, I don't think he quite has it all the way. It does still have 10 cards. Definitely will need another switch. So, in green now, as G not even going to try for the ice, and now he's running a little bit, but Acosta finds 3. There's a +4 from Acosta. He's down to check after the runs in green. G sent way back to 10. He doesn't have anything to counteract from the top floor to the bottom floor. And Acosta, though, with the +4, doesn't have the last card to back it up. Interesting. And G's just going to go for it now with the yellow 8. Now, in yellow, after Acosta found a 2 to get back to check, nothing more. And he is still drawing as G is running it down. Now we're on the blue again. Acosta has got to look carefully, but G has made that comeback from the +4 quite well. But Acosta, again, still has the possession arrow. Oh, if it's neck and neck in blue, Haseem is going to win. Can he pull it off? It has to draw. Can G take the lead? Possibly finish it off. He is at 2. Has a nom 4 for check. Last chance for Acosta. Potentially. And there's a yellow wild from Acosta. Nothing from G. Two to 2. Nearly 15 minutes in this game 1. Average Acosta game. Not even. Average Acosta 7. Has a +2, but not for the win. It's open. G's +2 is on the table. G doing nothing with it. Costa typing. Does he have something? He makes something happen here. Top deck, my beloved, and Acosta takes game 1. Green +2 off the top deck. And he steals it away.
I don't think I did a single thing wrong in that game. Acosta got like 5 top decks in a row. That really just didn't help me. And I don't know what to say about that. There's nothing I could have done.
If you had won that, I was gonna say, like, talk to me about, like, the great, like, you were down 10 to 1. Obviously, you didn't have it when you went to Uno with that, but being able to find ways to slow him down and get it even like that got to be frustrating to find a top deck like that for him to throw off all those plans.
I mean, he got the wild top deck. I would have won if it stayed blue, and that was a full number run. That's just kind of unfortunately how it goes when I barely get able to work with all games. So, I mean, that sucks. I mean, that reassures me I know what I'm doing, but I mean, if this comes down to a game of draws, I am not looking to it.
No doubt. Yeah, Acosta, definitely good resilience there. Thoughts on the resilience in that game, being able to hold on. Obviously, the top deck's working to your advantage, especially in the end there, despite all of G's best efforts to keep you at bay. Thoughts on that and how the momentum into game 2, because that is a good to steal one on the road for sure. Obviously talked about the rest for G. Not really a factor in that one. He was definitely on his game. There's no doubt. And we'll see how things transpire the rest of the way as we wait for Acosta's answer. Just an absurd top deck at the end there. I had a feeling when he was typing for that good minute there that he had something coming there. But it was a game. It was an extra. I kept at it, no doubt, but plenty of draw city to muddy the waters of it not being plan A. I mean, obviously, I don't think we were expecting anything to go plan A here in this one. But obviously, you never know what can happen in this game. It could be very confusing at times. So, top deck got Acosta the win, left the +2 open for that very reason, a very smart play. never would have expected. Anyway, Acosta takes game 1. So, G, it'll still be open board for you. How many cards for game 2? Go 10. We start off this time with a blue 7. Start with the 93 from G. Gonna keep it low to mid tier. That's generally his style. It'll be interesting to see where we're at after game 4. Could dictate what Acosta does. Obviously, you'd think he would go to a higher tier, and he can make any game a long endurance staring match, no matter how many cards there are in the hands at the start. As we're rolling back and forth on blue, and G gonna switch it to green. There is some yellow now on the board. Undercut from Acosta, trips 2, and now G has some yellow to play. There's a double from Acosta. Maybe trying to tone up the aggression potentially. We'll see. Of course, this format really a test of how many games can you win without the gimmick of power play, because this is really pure Uno what Super League is. As we go to red from Acosta, and G will play along. But it's really a testament to how many games can you get without turning to the added mechanic of power play. Only one power play for a maximum of 11 games, minimum of 6. And we've had best of 9 2 power play, we've had best of 11 2 power play, best of 13 3 power play. So it'll be interesting to see. It's all going to come down to the cards a lot more, because you'd think, especially when the season, a championship run is on the line, they're not going to turn to their power plays too early. Definitely not this early. So it's definitely going to come down to more of the cards, more of the strategy, and that's the beauty of Super League. As Acosta brings it to green with the wild, G has the 3 to behind it. And what a run from Acosta. 2-0. Insane top deck. Wild off the top, I would assume. Unless he was building that ammo and top deck the right thing, but ultimately doesn't much matter. And that is not a game I can ask many questions on.
I was 1 away. And the second game of the route, wild top decks didn't be over, so that sucks.
Or where were you 1 away?
Can you say that again?
Where were you 1 away? Just before his last play?
I was... when I played the green 3, I was 1 away. I had +4, red reverse blue 8, and
Tragic.
Second game in a row, the wild top deck throws everything out of loop, so that's...
Brutal.
fun.
Brutal. I got nothing for Acosta there. That's pretty cut and dry. Sorry, G, I might have jinxed you there a little bit. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's not plan A though. Top decks did come into effect, so it wasn't all the hand, but it was still plan A length in a sense. So 2:48 from 15 minutes. Now Acosta takes a 2-0 lead. G looking to try and end his homestand, pulling even. Got to start by winning game 3. He's going to go with 8. Stars puts it down. Appreciate the ref as always, and here we go. Goldie on the board first. And G's going to play off of that. Turning up the dial a little bit. Goes into red. G's been so agonizingly close in these first two games that you figure he's probably going to stay in this range. The question of, can he find some results? Cross to green from Acosta. After he ices him out on red, G comes out swinging with a double play. Super League players, Lara and Vapor. Lara, of course, sent home by Acosta. And Vapor awaiting to play Friday afternoon. Of course, Vapor not as long as a bye as G was, because he did go all the way to the end of Apocalyptic August. Though he's had less of a layoff, but still a good amount of layoff from then to this Friday. So a double play from Acosta on the +2, and now we're stuck on a gone 2. Here we go, back with the staring match. Saw that in game 1, didn't really see it in game 2. It was pretty cut and dry game 2. G comes up with the 6, the other Vapor 6. And an M blue 6 from Acosta. Quadruple play from Acosta into yellow, +2, and he's down to 2. Is this another run to the end? No, it's to check with his own 9. Haseem the Dream looking to try and get up to 3-0. G's got a +4 of his own, and that will settle things down a little bit. Still behind by 1, but G finally having an answer for Haseem's constant onslaught here. There's a blue wild from G. KT Wild. G with both blue 9s on the board. Costa with nothing to counter, but there's an 8. And G with a yellow wild for check. Looking to finally break through here. Costa was close, but G had a +4 to stop him. Does Acosta have any kind of counter to keep it going? There is a +2 on the board. He used one of them in his 5 chain to check earlier. It's also 3+4s in the deck. Is one of them in his hand? Triple play to check for green. Huge play. Absurd. Acosta for the win? No. Absolutely absurd sequence there. They both have answers for each other in this one. Feeling a little more even between these two. They both had their chances and just fallen short or been counterattacked. And for both, they've just been short of that last card. And you know, there's a yellow in there somewhere for G. But now the waters are getting muddied by Draw City, so it's going to be interesting. Kind of a reset here. Now, who is going to make the break here? Acosta finds his way to red with a 5. So now, floodgates might be opening a little bit. There's a Zero Sugar, the pack Zero Sugar. He'll be on tonight after dark against Andy. Acosta with the 2-card lead. Now G gonna cross to yellow in response. Back and forth they go, and now Acosta draws, G draws back to the city. Now it's a whole new goal for these two. With a little trigger happy call there, but still nothing to make of it. They're both drawing. Back and forth. There's an 8 from Acosta, the Camaro 8. Cross to red. Undercuts to green. A jumbled traffic light there. Yellow, red, green. There's a green 0 from G, sets it up for Acosta. What are the chances of that? Absurd. Now a big pause from G. Here comes back to the Brad Deuce. And now Acosta gonna pivot to red. Trips to red. Acosta going for the 9. It's just a matter of who can break through. Back to the log, we are at 14 minutes now. G really slowing down the heart rate as well. They're both really taking their time. Trips 4. Into blue. Back to yellow. Acosta up by 4. Looking to try and make a run down, but now it's just card by card, and it's interesting. We see what happens here. Oh, there's G with the run of his own. Cuts it down. Oh my goodness. Taking a while to get there. It was 8-4. That is an 8-card chain, and that makes up for the 2 losses. I'd say it's pretty even now. Goodness gracious. Yeah, so it was a lot of fishing for the right thing, say. Always he left to do. Yeah, it looked like Acosta was the same way. Interesting game there. Goodness. I mean, Acosta, I think it was kind of a similar one for you. Yeah, kind of being close but not close enough, and it was just kind of limbo back and forth. Goodness me. Came out of nowhere. Had to play to finish. Okay. Fucking yellow, yeah. Had the way. So he finally gets one back. Felt like a massive 2-0 lead with how those first 2 games went. And now it's definitely a closer one. 2-1. Still a long way to go. First to 6 wins. So we'll see who comes out on top. G, final home call of this homestand before. Won't be till game 9 you'll get another call after this one. And it'll be 9, ironically. Monkey 3 to start. Couple yellows opening us up. There is a blue wild from G. So G with the control in blue. Looking to try and even it up before it's Acosta's home call the next 4 games. Yeah, it's fine. Likely probably gonna do a stream pause during that, depending on how long you need. Trips 4. Cross to yellow. G now stuck on the yellow. Acosta now getting the uncontested. Acosta with the possession arrow lead now, and he has a triple play to make it a 4-card lead, and he's down to 2. But G has a +6. It leaves the door open to counter, though. Puts himself back in the lead. Now the blue holds everyone up. G ahead by just 2. Double play there from Acosta, +2. So now it puts him ahead. Cross to yellow triggers a triple play into red. Wild green gives Acosta a double play opportunity. Now he's down to 3 again. He's close behind with 5. Who is going to come up with it? Handing the +2 back. And there you go, another +2 from G after a few numbers back and forth. And he does take the splits. Yeah, and G saying you take the split, I mean, it felt like a massive 2-0 lead for Acosta. Now you come up with the split. How do you feel about that going forward into now a 4-game road stand here for Acosta, knowing he may end up, might end up moving the needle up on the high tier, but I mean, ultimately these games turn long no matter how many cards there are to start.
Yeah, I mean, I was figuring Costa would want to go for the high tier. That's kind of why I stuck with the middle, because I wanted to get those sorted and then be able to run with the high tier when I believe Costa will go there. But yeah, I mean, I think those last 2 games I was doing a little bit less number running, so that helped a little bit. But I feel fine after that. I feel fine after that homestand because I think in games 1 and 2 I just kind of got a little bit unlucky with the top decks, but I'm still feeling pretty good right now.
All right. And Acosta, I mean, you got some good luck on your side in the first 2 games, and in the latter 2, not as much, but definitely was still very neck and neck. How do you feel about the split now, moving forward into your homestand? And I mean, it's basically a new game moving forward. Still, maximum 7 more games to go, 4 more at minimum. Splits at home is great since playing in the mid tier was good today so far, but since now my choice, she's seeing more high tier starts. Yeah, that's what we figured. So yeah, pretty good after the 4. Split 2-2. And of course, best of 11. 4 more wins gets you to the final 4 of Super League 2025. But right now it's game 5, and Acosta will get his first call. No 7, no 10. Haseem, how many cards are we feeling for game 5? Good 14. And we start our first free choice of the series. Open Wild. There's a yellow 9. Dozens of hearts shattered. With his own card too. But hey, if nobody does it, nobody does it. There's no, he didn't disrespect it. And no jinx, no jinx. It's all chill. Yes, yes, that's correct. Cross to blue keeps it alive. Cross to red. Even game, but G throws a wrench in that just as I say it to blue. There's a so the +4 from G, and Acosta gonna run right back. Could have gotten that from it. A +2 to cancel a little bit of it out, and just pulls right back ahead. And G draws, so now he's ahead by 1. Crazy. Oh my goodness. So, Haseem Acosta, first home game, goes with the power play and a 3 switch. And despite a +4 to hold, from G to hold it back, reverse. And Acosta back on the board and back in driver's seat. 3-2. Acosta, thoughts on that power play? Obviously, what was the thought process behind that? Still a lot of series left, but Comendia wins a win. Thoughts on that? And what the thought process was to bring you to that decision. Uh, I mean that +4 seemed pretty good. I don't know how much of that ammo was thrown back at you from that, and then ultimately you had more in the tank. And now you're down 3-2. Thoughts on that game?
I mean, I went for the +4. I saw the opening there. If Acosta wasn't gonna go for, was gonna go a little bit more precautious, that's really where the opening would have played out. I probably would have been 2 turns away in that case, but ultimately it didn't. I'm good with him using the power play. I would not have been able to do anything to counteract that, so I'm perfectly fine with it. I had like a run. I had like I had a +2 on yellow and blue, but didn't really have much on red there, so I would have had to switch the color if I would have been able to do anything on that. So again, I'm good with the usage of power play there, and I mean, I still have mine in a way that will hopefully try to shift the balance of a game, but we'll see what happens when we get there.
+4 gave him 3 reverses. As for the power play, figured I had to since Gman had the momentum after winning the last 2. Yeah, it's all about a game of momentum. He's been dealing with that kind of stuff all season, and he once again reads it right, and he is going to move forward with a 3-2 lead, but no power play. We'll see how G-Man utilizes it. Acosta, after that win, no 14, along with no 7 and 10. How many cards for Game 6? Oh, you need to pause. Okay. How long you need?
I would think no more than 25 minutes. It might be a little bit, but
Alrighty then.
yeah, I do.
All right. In that case, I'm going to just pause the stream because I can't tap dance for 25 minutes, or even
Yeah, no,
10,
that's what I would expect you to do in this case.
Yeah. So we are going to take a pause here on the stream. We will come back when we are ready for Game 6. A bit of a halftime break, if you think about it, pretty much at the halfway mark. We will be back once we are ready to continue Game 6 as Acosta leads 3-2 is coming your way in just a little bit. Stay tuned. We welcome you back. It is, after a little bit longer delay than we expected, we are ready for Game 6 between G and Acosta. The first quarterfinal of 4 coming your way here in the next few days. We take a look at the bracket before we proceed. Acosta up 3-2. And the winner will get either KT or Monkey in the Super League semifinals. As we are just about ready to get game number 6 underway. Bring it back to the table here. Just to recap for those just joining us, Acosta taking the first 2 on G's homestand, a 7 and a 10 card start with some luck in his favor, and then a couple wins for G on the 8 and the 9, and then Acosta takes his first game at home, and now he looks to keep that momentum going. Acosta did use his power play in game number 3. So keep that in mind as we move forward. G still with his, but Acosta looking to go up 4-2. Again, it's best of 11, first to 6 wins. So Acosta halfway as we cross past the halfway point of this series. And I will once again turn to Acosta for game number 6. Haseem, how many cards are we feeling for game number 6? We're going to go with 13. So here we go. Time to kick it back into gear as about an hour delay-ish. We bring it back now with a Brad Deuce. Glad you've all stuck with us for this one as we continue this one. Quickly from blue to green. Double play from G. First ammo hit of game 6. Now another double play from G. The +2 this time, looking to try and chip away down. Brings it down to 7 for his hand. Looking to try and even it at 3 and make it a virtual best of 5. An 8 from Acosta. Cross the yellow by G. He has both 8s, and he will get his way on this one. Now Acosta with both the 6s. And G with nothing beyond that. He went for the yellow himself, and he didn't have anything to back it up. Quite an interesting play. Might have just been... Not sure what the play was there. Maybe just trying to get rid of him. Now G gets it back to blue. Here's a +4 from Acosta, but a wild to counter back to blue for G. Now we go from blue to red to green, and now we're kind of stuck a little. At least Acosta is. See if G can keep it going. Triple play, green to blue. Red wild from G. 2 wilds on the game for him here in game 6. +4 going Acosta's way, but got a 6 on back end with the red. Six and a half minutes quickly gone by, seemingly. Red back and forth after the wild. Acosta out. G still running at it. And G's got a double play to wrap it up. And it is even again. So they trade 2 and then they trade 1. It is 3-3 as G takes game 6, considering power playing. Yeah, roll the dice on no finish. Yeah, ultimately it's a long series. G, I can't be. I definitely can see the reasoning there. Not bad to roll the dice when you're still like pretty far away from a deciding game. You're still at least 2 games away. You're now 2 games away from it at this point. So I get that. I mean, Acosta had the triple, but it seemed like other than that, he it was kind of a flip the script of what your wins have been. G kind of had an answer for every punch you were throwing. Was that kind of what the situation was there, or was there something you could have done differently to get to a better outcome? Three to 3, 1 power play to none. He was considering it, but did not. Obviously, still 3 more wins to move on. Much shorter game, only 7:46 off the clock. The second shortest game of the series, or third shortest. Or no, yeah, second shortest. No, third shortest. I can't read. Not much Acosta could have done, and so they trade 2, they trade 1. Now it's back to even Steven once again. Now best of 3 or best of 5. as 3 wins will get you to move on. Unless I could have maybe not light switch as often as I did, but not much. Fair is fair. I mean, sometimes it's just how the cookie crumbles here. And we're going to go with 12 for game number 7. Thank you all for sticking with us here through this little delay we had. Yellow 8 to start us off. Again, this started a couple of wins for Acosta in the mid tier, 7 and 10, and then G won it on 8 and 9, and then Acosta came back with a home victory on 14, and then G, as you just saw, on the 13 start, had a power play move in tow, but was not able. Rolled the dice and was able to come up with it. So we'll see how Acosta responds here. We'll see where things go as we're breaking into the home stretch of this one. This is a pivotal game, no doubt about it. Yellow, then cross to red. Double play from G. Now he's going to go blue. Another double there. Now a +4 from G. +4 now. We're rolling on green. G just down to 2 now with that 0. Oh, there's a triple from Acosta, though. Is it... But does G have a win? He's got double +2s, and G starting to turn on the afterburners for the last 5 games. After going down 2-0, he's up 4-3. And, I mean, G, definitely the momentum's starting to swing in your favor. I mean, I don't know where you could point to. I mean, you definitely had a lot more on your side that time. Thoughts on that?
I wanted the. I mean that I had most of that from sure. I wanted the whole that red +2 in the. I could do something like that. And then like I saw try to finish on green, so I went with a little bit of an aggressive +4. You know, I think it ultimately turned out because what's it called? Actually no. Yeah, I mean it worked out in the end. I think I didn't play like that in 2, and that one didn't work out, but this time fortune favored the bold on that one, so I'm pleased with that, and hopefully I can keep this.
Acosta, not much you could have done there again. It seems like he kind of outmatched you the whole way. You definitely were trying, but I just couldn't see much from you that you could have done. He basically controlled that one start to finish, it seemed like. And I don't know if you got anything on this. See what he says otherwise. Now the second quickest. Again. The potentially last phone call. It'll be last phone call before game 10 of this series. Game 8 coming up. Leaving the red +2 since I saw him swap off blue earlier. Yeah. Yeah, good split. Good. Yeah, some good ammo control. Definitely, that is a great play. Well, I got not much for Haseem over here, so unless you got anything else to say, you can make your call for the next game. Again, no 7, 10, 14. Not much could have done there except leaving it open, but I'm still here. All right. Absolutely is. We'll see what he does. All right. We are gonna send it for game number 8. Acosta trying to stay alive with a win. He will get one more home call. He will be guaranteed one. But he needs to win and even this up to get that. He can push it to match point with a win. Here we go with a green skip of Lara. Back and forth on the green we go. Just past 6 o'clock Eastern time. We thank you, everyone, for joining us. Started up here at 3. Obviously, unfortunately, we had a little bit of an hour delay to this one, but total of airtime about 2 hours. If you really think about it. coming close to it at very least. No surprise from a game involving Haseem Acosta. Always having those slow games, although we've had some shorter ones, not as many double-digit minute games as we have seen him put out. Only 2 of them so far, but we have already crossed the hour mark in series length. As G's gonna cross the blue. The switch to red from the brief stint in blue, running back and forth. G with a 5-card lead. Triple play the +2s. Costa trying everything he can here. He now pulls ahead by 4. The G's going to respond with a yellow switch over. Now to yellow crossing back with the wild. Half off special to the 3. +4s back and forth. Haymakers thrown at each other here. And it ends with Acosta still ahead by 3. Big pause for Acosta. Seen back-to-back +4s. He wanted green, G wanted blue. That's where we are. Costa, nothing for blue. And G will roll. Still nothing. Top deck did top deck an 8. Costa goes back to the deck and G double plays. That puts him ahead. Now to green and to red. Trips 8. Now we stay on red, but G he has been light switching all game. Here in game 8, he goes yellow now. There's a +2 combo from Acosta off the jump there in yellow. And G will cancel that out with a double play, evens it at 3. Acosta goes to red, down to 2. G draws. Acosta with a runway. +4 from Acosta, and it is even again. He picks himself up and makes it a best of 3. Acosta takes home the coveted sender, and he will get one more home call in Game 10, as it is now 4-4. G have the yellow finish +2. Brutal. Yeah, Acosta, it definitely. I mean, we didn't see yellow much there. I'm guessing some of that came from the draws along the way, or either that or it's just really good ammo control to be able to have that in the right place now in hindsight. Thoughts on that win, and now we're even a best of 3 moving forward. Connectors through the whole match, just playing the numbers. Okay. So, great control. All right, so it's even at 4, and the arrow now is going to go back to G. We've gone through our 4-4. Now it's 1-1-1. G will have 2 calls max. If it goes to a game 11, he will have it, but he will have it for game 9. G, what are we thinking? Yeah, we're going to go 5. Bringing it from the sender to the gambler. Can we make it to 7 Eastern? Oh, dear God. We'll see with a 5, and G draws. That's a good sign, isn't it? That is a great sign. And Acosta able to get out with a wild after an early draw city, and not surprising from 5. The 0 switch to red. Acosta now down to 3. And he's typing a moment. Does he have another one in him? Had the connectors! And it's match points. The 5 betrays Gman, and Acosta is 1 win away from the final 4. And just how that pendulum swings. And that is how the 5 sometimes go. Yeah, G, nothing more to say other than that. Just how the cookie crumbles. Phenomenal sign, unfortunately not for G. So the 5 goes wrong. G still with a power play. Acosta will get one final call in this series, and he is looking for the clincher. Game 10, Acosta, no 7, no 10, no 14, no 15, no 5. What are we thinking? Whenever you're ready. $13. Hopefully the last time. How many of you guessed right, Scars? What's your rate? How many do I? That's 100%. Wow. All right. So we're now back into the high tier after that sub 2-minute 5-carder, and we're gonna see how things play out here. G still with the power play. There, you got to be on watch for that if you're Acosta. Got to be on watch for that retaliation to come your way. But for now, G's gonna go with a double play as we're keeping it green. And it's anyone's game as Acosta plays the 6 to keep it even, but G now takes the possession arrow with the double. Blue Wild from Acosta. +2 from G. Double play off that Wild, and now he has a 4-card advantage. G looking to try and possibly set up a play for a game 11 do or die game. The power play in play for G. Does he have a move with it, or is he going to, as he goes another +2 on the blue, does he try and get this one without it to have it in his favor for a winner take all? Blue 9 from Acosta makes way for G's yellow 9. He's down to 3. Acosta way back at 10. Does Haseem have anything left in him? Can he slow G's roll down? Oh, +4 from Acosta. That's what he had in him. And now it's an even game. G still can have a 2-card lead with a play. And G's going to go double into red on the Wild. +2 from Acosta. Now G switches to yellow. Into blue goes Acosta. Undercut, and that is Skittles. After all this, in game number 10, we see some Skittles on the board. All ones. G down to 3. Looking to try and force this to the 11th game. Acosta looking to try and come back a little bit here and win the series and go to the Final Four. Back and forth on the green now. G's still with an advantage. Acosta, if you're Acosta now, this is the moment you got to make a move once again. G's down to 2. Power play in tow. But he doesn't have anything more. Does G have the finish? Maybe check. And he will trust fall with the game 11 hand. Power play is in. And the power plays are out. We are going to game 11 as Gman will finish on the wild and the 7 to force a winner-take-all final game coming up here shortly. 5-5 to expect from 2 of the top players in this league this year. Quite an interesting one here, as definitely was all pretty tame. I mean, we didn't see anything too crazy. We saw some crazy runs earlier in this series, but apart from the Acosta +4 and a couple of +2s here and there, it wasn't anything super crazy. And now we'll head for a game 11 as Acosta looks to the upset special. G looks to set up a date with, get a possible chance at a rematch with KT or a match with Monkey. We will see what goes down. And I'm not even going to take much time on this. So G, one more call. How many cards? Wins on 13 twice, no 12, no 8 and 9. Everyone's favorite, what? Ah, yes, of course, 11. One more and you'd be making a risk. Anyway. Paper G6 to start us off. Final game of this series. Been a terrific series. Seen a little bit of everything. Seen some luck play out. We've seen some opportunely timed switches. What more could you ask for? It's the Super League quarterfinals. The Final Four is going to be set here over the next few days. We're happy you have joined us tonight. This afternoon into the evening. Just before 6:30 Eastern Time. And we are going to see who comes up with this next one. He coming out swinging with a +2 to start us off, and now he has another double, so he is sprinting towards that finish line. Acosta can do nothing but drop some greens. Does he have anything else in the tank here? Cross to blue. Double play. Double play from Acosta. Now that prompts G to go to red. Cross to red from G. Now Acosta looking. Oh, he's got a +6 to yellow. And now he's ahead by 5. Huge play. Cross to blue, but Acosta's got it back. And now G gonna say, "Yep, I still got some." Puts his Acosta's own yellow down. Things may be coming to a head here. Acosta running down. He's got 4. Again, no power plays on the board. G used it to win game 10. Acosta used it way back in game 3. G has a green. Acosta nothing. Huge switch. And now G gonna switch it over, cross back over to red. Acosta has some red in tow. He is still ahead. But G cuts it down to just a 1-card advantage. Acosta now has G right on his tail, and that is a terrific read with the double. And G has crossed to yellow, now ahead. Very slightly, though. Acosta could come up with something. Big moment here for Haseem Acosta. Gonna drop a 2. Still even. G gonna keep it mellow. Keep it calm and composed. He's down to 3. Acosta is out. G gets it to blue. Have not seen blue in a little bit. Acosta did switch out of it to the yellow. Did he pull a huge fade here? Although there could have been a couple draws playing into it as well since then. Now typing for a long moment here. What does he have? He has 5 left. G is down to 2. Sensing that G might be waiting with a series clinching finish here, but we'll see. Five and a half gone by in game 11. This is the choke point of this game. Double +2 leaves it open. Huge play. It is not anywhere near a win, but it is an absolutely necessary move. G's just gonna go clean with the red too. And now Acosta's gonna need a switch. He's got it back to blue! Did he pull another one? Does he want the ISO or did he have a second fade? G won't matter. G will go to yellow. Might have been a top deck for him as well with that too. And Acosta's out on the yellow, and that is massive. G is down to 6. So, still a little time for Acosta. He's still ahead, but we'll see what happens. A little time unless something is brewing here. Nope, nothing from G. So, double ISO. Are we headed for Draw City? We may very well be. 5-5 in this first Super League quarterfinal. We'll be back on tonight at 10:30. That's in about 4 hours from now, as we will see the game between Mac and Andy, 4v5 in the seeding. The 4th ranked Mac against 7th ranked or 6th ranked Andy, 5th ranked Andy, yeah. Both the buys as we go back and forth. That'll be Super League and rank and seeding. Oh, well, just a little bit of an oopsie there, but we got a triple play coming into blue. That'll take Acosta down to dose. There, he's got it through. So into the blue 8, so now Acosta on the verge again. Acosta holding on. Whew. Got it out of there. But gee, he's not out of the woods yet. Oh, yep, +4. And we're gonna have a little bit of a reset. G ahead by 1. Some green back and forth. Nothing from G. Acosta gonna take him with him to blue. He's still ahead by the possession arrow. Still has a 2-card lead. Make it 2-card lead for the PA. Here we go again. Edge of your seat, folks. Season comes down to this for these two players. One down from Acosta, nothing from G. Acosta is down to 2. Can he finish? He's got a 7 for check! A roller coaster of a game 11. And it goes to Acosta on the number efficiency! Haseem the Dream. And the dream will continue to the Final 4. Unbelievable game 11 between these two. You never knew who was going to come up with it. They both seemed to have something, and then the other found a way to stall it out. But in the end, it's Haseem Acosta, and was able to... That blue Acosta especially, I couldn't tell when you really wanted that blue. You switched out of it. You had it switched out of twice. One of which I think that +6 open door was really a defensive play in earnest, but um, your thoughts on that kind of blue strategy, because it definitely seemed like you were trying to fade it a little bit, not necessarily that you didn't have it, and ultimately you come up with the number efficiency off of it in the end. And thoughts on this win overall? You're in the Super League Final Four, man. I mean, we've been talking about it for months. You've been having a resurrection type season to your career, and it just keeps on rolling. The dream is in the Final Four. Your thoughts on that, and also that strategy I was talking about there? Let me know. And as for G, second tournament winner has fallen out. Obviously, we saw Nick fall to Andy in the round of 12, the March winner, and now the Auto April winner, G, has fallen out. G, your thoughts on this series? Absolutely absurd one between you and Acosta. Great back and forth y'all had, but ultimately the trust fall, unfortunately, as you mentioned, didn't quite work out. But I mean, I couldn't point to many things you did wrong in that series. Like, y'all were playing absolutely spectacular. Your thoughts on this one and the season here has definitely had a much better result overall when you look at the full body of work in the end of the day. Although I'm sure you would have wished you could have made it further along.
Yeah, I mean, I think I played that the way I was play it. I was like, I'm not gonna say like it was all numbers. I had like a bunch of. If I just had yellow, a yellow skip be, I think I could have won that, but that didn't line up. So I was draw it out a little bit and see where it goes from there. The +4 was ultimately just like a swing. I was hoping for a maybe like a safety switch off that or something like that. It just didn't happen. I wasn't really sure. I was kind of in like a spot where, I mean, I felt I had, but just the connections were out there, and it was not necessarily in my control to get said connections. I'd have to bank on Acosta laying down the right card. So, that didn't happen. It's kind of unfortunate. That's how this one ends. But I think I asked for a good series at the start, and I think we did get a good series. So, again, nothing but respect to Acosta on that one, and I think he played that pretty well. Yeah, I mean, again, I think if I could have maybe kept that going longer if I actually drew a wild on the Uno call, so maybe that could have done something. We got that a turn earlier, but yeah, it happens the way it happens, and now we kind of just go to the off season, make the most of it, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back in Super League, and I'm glad to have had a good match, and I'm gonna wishing the best of luck to Acosta going to the Final Four, and I also appreciate his understanding for the small delay we have.
All right, we'll hear from Acosta here on thoughts on the win. He had that blue 6, blue 7, red 7 combo. The fact that worked very tough, especially without power plays in the picture. And yeah, nothing. It's a very even series. You look at the stats. I mean, the biggest difference is Acosta had more skips. And G had more wilds. Those were the two biggest advantages. Almost dead even on cards played, 201 to 200. So that's something. It's not something we talk about a lot as cards played, but it's something that if it's close, it's definitely something to notice. As Haseem Acosta, the dream, moves on to the Final Four. Couldn't believe this year at all, man. Had to be aggressive and throw cards at him since I had a feeling he had a wild +4. So happy I'm making him use it, and at the end was using numbers once again. Well, you take a look, your brackets on the left side of your screen on stream. It is going to be Acosta for either KT or Monkey. Again, time to be determined on that. We'll be back here in about 4 hours for Mac and Andy. 10:30 approximately. The drives are back, Super League style. We'll see you for that. And then, of course, Friday afternoon will be Vapor versus Gone. And again, we'll have a time on KTV Monkey as soon as we can get it for you. Acosta saying that Vapor game reminded me I had to use my cards because you don't want to leave it on the table. You want to leave it on the table, not here. No doubt about it. Definitely not here. Nor that power play either. But congrats to Haseem Acosta. Gets it done in 11 and will await his opponent. But that is going to do it for us to this afternoon and this evening. Again, we'll be back again at 10:30. Mac and Andy, 4 versus 5. And then Vapor and Gone Friday afternoon. But I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. Thanks to Scars for reffing. Thanks to G and Acosta for putting on a terrific show, even if it had a little bit of delay on it. We all understand life happens. We move on. That is going to do it for us for now. I'll see you all again at 10:30. But for now, take care and have a great evening.
This has been a special presentation of MRE UNO Division 1 Super League 2025.